Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
Parliamentarians clash over an approval regarding the island of Andros. That story coming up.
Thousands of Bahamians sign a petition against a Chinese fishing proposal. The latest on incentives at the Grand Bahama Port post-Matthew. Families living in Bain and Grantstown get a helping hand, and the College of the Bahamas transitions into the University of the Bahamas. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight, a company with majority Chinese directors has been given National Economic Council approval for a forestry project on 4,500 acres of Crown land in North Andros. The revelation was made in this morning's Nassau Guardian and has since been confirmed by Environment Minister Kenred Dorset. However, the minister hit out at the Guardian, claiming the newspaper is on a fear-mongering mission. Kyle Joaquin reports.
Notwithstanding the above, to date, all of the conditions imposed by the forestry unit reflected in that letter have not been satisfied. Therefore, no license has been issued.
Explaining why there has been approval for a timber harvesting license, but no license issued, Dorset hit out at the Nassau Guardian for what he termed a misleading headline. The paper revealed this morning that a company by the name of Caribbean Global Timber Limited was given the approval for the license on August 28, 2015, just a year after it was incorporated. The approval was granted by the National Economic Council. Members of that council are the Cabinet of the Bahamas. Now to break it down, Caribbean Global Timber Limited has 5 directors: Yang Hu Liao, Henry Key, Kui Zhao Liao, Lian Lu, and He Hewlin. A company search revealed that Caribbean Global Timber Limited is not majority Bahamian owned. However, Dorset said the Guardian article is an attempt to invoke xenophobia and demonize a potential investment by insinuating that it is a secret deal.
All forestry resources remain vested in the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Land is neither granted nor leased.
And he said it's because the conditions necessary for a license outlined in the approval have not yet been met that there has been no license approved. Some of those conditions include the company is to selectively harvest and thin out pine trees of various sizes to include but not limited to deformed, twisted, defective, whipped, wind-thrown, forked, or wolf trees. The company must employ a minimum of 100 Bahamians within 90 days of commencing. It will construct a pine forest production facility plant on a suitable site to be determined on the island of Andros within 1 year from the date of approval. And the company shall use Bahamian contractors for the construction of the facility, among other conditions. Now, while the government seeks to develop the industry, there has been little reporting on any proposals or agreements it has entered. This as there is already concern over last week's revelation of a $2.1 billion agri-fisheries venture with the Chinese. But as he defended the government in Parliament this morning, Dorset spun the attention to the former F&M government.
The only existing licenses for forestry is the 5-year license issued by the Free National Movement in 2011 to a Canadian citizen in relation to 2 tracts of land in our Abaco Forest Estate, comprising 5,194 acres in Wilson City and 1,552 acres in Norman's Castle.
Now, Dorset said the topic is one that he hopes doesn't continue on, but if it does, he has no problem with once again coming to the defense of the government. Reporting from the House of Assembly for Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Thanks, Kyle. Well, Minister of Agriculture V. Alfred Gray was once again on the defense over that $2.1 billion proposed agri-fisheries venture with the Chinese. When East Grand Bahama MP Peter Turnquest brought the issue to Parliament this morning, a visibly upset Gray lashed out, saying Turnquest should be ashamed as he knows better than what he's doing.
I wonder how he feels about these alleged secret negotiations by the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries in conjunction with the ambassador to China, who proposes to cede control of up to 20,000 acres of Bahamian land and access to our fishing grounds in Andros.
I am saying, Mr. Speaker, in defense of my name, and nobody's going to take that privilege from me. I have not been in discussion with one Chinese about anything regarding anything in the Bahamas. Not one Chinese.
Gray was caught in a firestorm of controversy last week when he confirmed that there was such a proposal before the government. Hours later, he called the newspaper story that broke the information false. But today in Parliament, he went on to say that no government has been more business-friendly with the Chinese than the Free National Movement.
There is nobody in the governance of our country who has given more to Chinese investors than the F&M government. None. And they are hypocrites.
Member.
To suggest otherwise. I have a list and I don't want to talk about it now.
No, you're not
but
going to be
if
allowed.
he comes back at it, I will beg leave to read the list of which the F&M did business with the Chinese. Now the Chinese name ain't no good.
Thank you, honorable member.
Meanwhile, thousands of Bahamians have signed a petition against Chinese fishing in the Bahamas in an attempt to blow a proposed deal out of the water. More than 4,000 supporters have signed the online petition. 2,500 of them are Bahamian. The petition is calling on Prime Minister Christie to cancel any and all negotiations on the proposed Chinese fishing agriculture venture and to keep fishing 100% for Bahamians. April N. writes that the deal would be devastation for the country, while Basil W. asks what's gone wrong with our government. Two men have led the country for the past 20 years, both with cabinets that did not stand up for the Bahamian people. Another writes, don't want nobody in our waters. The water and what it holds in the Bahamas is for the Bahamas. Tamika F. comments, we cannot permit the annihilation of our fishing and tourism industries. We are slowly heading to Chinese colonialization and environmental disaster. The petition is also calling for the backlog of applications for Bahamians requesting Crown lands to be assessed as a matter of priority, allowing Bahamians to be granted Crown lands for farming. The petition can be found on the petitionsite.com. Still to come on our news, families ravaged by Hurricane Matthew get a helping hand. Police need your help in finding two men they want to question in connection to murder. And incentives set for the Port of Grand Bahama post-Hurricane Matthew. That's coming up when our news returns.